Just want to do one more adjustment if I can on this left side for you, if that's okay? Again, I don't want to have to push hard, so the more you relax, the easier it is. Happy with that?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Was that okay?
Yeah.
That was the main one, because like I said, that's the one that's the most blocked, and it did require a little bit more of a push, but we got it to go. Now the basic version involves you dropping your body weight to the left, keep going, sticking your hip out to the right. Can you feel a bit of a stretch when you get into here?
Yeah.
I want you to pull this band and pull it more towards your chest area. Good. Can you feel how these muscles are all tensing and kind of causing you to lift up? That'll do. Relax. Now, relax. Now pull much more lower into the hip, into the belly button. Good. Didn't raise through here, and can you feel that engagement much more through the middle back?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Hey Melissa, how have you been?
Good, thank you.
So, good couple of weeks since we last saw each other, so today is your first follow-up appointment. First question, after the first appointment, like next day, how did you feel? Was it like a little bit sore and achy from the treatment?
It was, yeah. The afternoon as well, actually. I noticed it.
It's one of those ones where I always want people to feel leaving better, and it's great when you do and people feel more relaxed, but it's because of the way the muscles respond to your treatment, especially with the machines that we use, which is quite normal. But I feel like as long as I've warned my patients, it's not like a huge shock for them, so at least they expect it. Normally it's like a bit of a gym ache, and then it usually settles down within a few days as well. Hopefully that's what you noticed.
Yeah, it felt very similar to doing exercise and things like that, yeah.
Yeah, good. And then usually that eases off.
Yeah.
How have you been with your stretches that we went through in the last session over the last few weeks?
Yeah, I've been trying to do them when I'm at the computer, like sat down at the desk. Just every now and then remind myself to do some stretches, especially when my neck's hurting looking at the computer. It's really...
So with you today, exactly that. Stretches are a great tool, but usually they're a bit of a pain management tool, so that you get tight, you get pain or discomfort, you do your stretches, you feel better. But sometimes you don't want to be stuck in that cycle. We want to break that cycle slightly by starting to show you ways of strengthening your muscles, which keeps you in better positions for longer, so you don't find yourself getting into bad positions and therefore pain. Have you been having any issues with your foot or ankle?
So recently for some reason I'm getting a bit of pain like just on this foot along here. I bought some New Balance, like I did have some before, just because I was worried it's because my shoes were too old.
Can be a factor.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I run about a lot when I'm trying to catch trains, so maybe I just sprained it or something.
I mean, these are a good pair of shoes, so they look like they're quite supportive in the arches, which is what we're looking for. It might just be, like I said, there's some tension in your actual foot and ankle joint, which we'll work on again during the session today. Do you have any questions for me before we start our appointment today?
I can't think of anything else.
Okay, great. Let's get started.
Sounds great.
Cool. Let's go. Melissa, whenever you're ready, face down for me, laying on your tummy, please. Just relax your shoulders. Let them go. Perfect. Is that comfortable for you?
Yeah.
Excellent. So, yeah, already I can tell your posture does feel better than last time. Still a few areas like here which are a little bit tight, which we'll show you the more advanced stretches of, but definitely a lot less rounded in your upper back and shoulders than you were last time. So that's quite encouraging to see. Now, I'm going to run the first machine over your back, the thumper machine. This one's called the Maxi Pro edition, which is pretty powerful, as I'm sure you can tell from the size of it. It's a nice vibration machine. It's very gentle in a weird way, though it looks quite aggressive. It just gets into the muscles, loosens them up, just helps patients ease into their treatments as well, I find. How's that pressure again?
It's good.
Excellent. So again, just running over some of the muscles in your back, such as your paraspinals, rhomboids, traps. Just turn it up a little bit for you. Still feels okay?
It feels great.
Excellent. It's encouraging to see it's gliding through your back so much better than last time, which is a good sign that the shoulders aren't as round, which is nice. So well done you for doing your stretches.
Thank you. comfortable. I can feel like all the tension melting away.
Yeah, which is nice. Now it's the first little adjustment for the upper mid back, just to release some of the pressure here. Again, just relax your arms, nice and relaxed, therefore. So when you're ready, breathe in and out for me. Excellent. Quick little thrust and relax. How was that?
That was nice.
Fantastic. One more time, breathe in for me and out for me. Yeah, bit of an awkward angle. Nice and relax. You felt that one there a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
Good release. Didn't actually have to put too much pressure in. We got that nice kind of release into the joints, which is what we're looking for as well. Now the next adjustment, more for the top of the shoulders. Again, similar to last time, just trying to release the pressure point here. It's much better than last time. Like I said, you're not rounding your shoulders as much, but you can still feel how there are little knots, like right where my finger is there.
Oh, yeah.
Lift your head up for me. Nice and relaxed, let your head go. Let it drop onto the table. Just going to place my hands on the shoulder, a little bit of a rotation, and relax. Same again this side, nice and relaxed, not bad on this side, and relax. Give yourself a second if you need it. How was that?
Yeah, I can really feel the difference on the two sides. Like
That's
how
exactly what I was just going to say to you.
This side was a lot tighter.
Yeah, I was just going to say the exact same thing. For me, it was much more even up than it was last time. But yeah, you can definitely tell how there is more pressure on that left shoulder compared to the right shoulder. But also that's still linked in with what's happening in your lower back and pelvis, because the muscle on the lower right side of your back where I'm poking you here is tighter than the muscle on the lower left side of your back. So these two areas are interconnected, you see.
Oh, okay.
Now the next machine, which is called the Theragun, a bit more powerful, really gets into those knots a little bit more. The movement of the machine is a little bit more different. So whereas the thumper is a bit more of a side-to-side motion, this one, as you can see, kind of goes a bit more in-out, so it usually does get a little bit deeper into the muscle. I think this is more a percussion machine, whereas the first one is considered more of a vibration machine. Is that pressure okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, just feel as I'm going over the left shoulder blade, there's a bit more sort of knotted resistance.
Yeah, I can feel it much more that side.
And there's less resistance there on the right side. So even through the machine, I kind of get that feedback that there is some more knotting there. So logically, as you said, you would feel that it is tighter. So yeah, that muscle there, which we're going to show you the deeper version of how to stretch a little bit. Excellent. So when you're ready, again, take your time, please. Can I turn onto your left shoulder, so you're going to be facing towards the blue wall. Take your time as you turn onto your left shoulder. Bend this top knee for me. Now I'm just going to bring you up slightly from the pelvis, just off your elbow slightly. What I would like you to do now, hold on to your elbows around my arm, nice and tight. Perfect. Now I'm just going to roll you forwards, okay? Again, maybe a little bit more than I did last time, but I promise you won't fall.
Okay.
Good. Excellent. And when you're ready, other way and facing towards the white wall now for me. How was that release?
Oh, it's really nice.
Good. So the release needed to come up a little bit higher, just almost underneath the rib cage, and then to do that, that's why I just kind of rolled your body weight a little bit more. This side isn't as tight, so I wouldn't expect. There'll still be a few clicks, but probably a lot less. A lot of it might even release almost as I'm turning you.
Okay.
So same positioning, bottom leg straight, and then just bend this knee here, off the arm and the elbow, hold onto your arms again, and onto your back. You see the difference?
Yeah, I didn't really.
Just the one, pretty much as soon as I turned you, a lot less pressure on that side, which is good, but we also want to kind of obviously even that up as well, you see. When you're ready, onto your back, please. Is that comfortable how you're lying now?
Yeah.
Good. Some people notice that when they lay with their legs straight, it gives them back pain, in which case they normally just tend to bend their knees. So again, much better on your neck than it was last time. The issue is still a bit tight from the upper back and shoulder, and it was explaining last time how that was creating a lot more pressure on the actual neck. Some tension on your neck, but again, I can feel how it's better. Ready? Just a small adjustment through the neck, especially that point there on the left, which is a little bit tender. Again, let the weight of the head relax on me as much as you feel comfortable. Yeah, there we go. Just wiggle your toes and listen. That'll do. And then a little one here. Breathe in, breathe out. Relax your head as much as you feel that'll do. And just going to give you a very light pull. It's always hard to relax, I know, when someone's just got a hold of your neck, but you did pretty well. Just want to do one more adjustment if I can on this left side for you, if that's okay? Again, I don't want to have to push hard, so the more you relax, the easier it is. Happy with that? Mm-hmm. There we go. Was that okay?
Yeah.
That was the main one, because like I said, that's the one that's the most blocked, and it did require a little bit more of a push, but we got it to go.
You can really feel it sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, with the neck, that's what I'm always kind of worried about a little bit more as well.
Oh, it feels lighter already.
No, I'm glad to hear that. A couple of different adjustments from the last time. One's for your pubis bone, which I'll explain about more in a second. The second one's for your foot. So like you were mentioning, you were getting a bit of discomfort and tightness coming into this part of the foot here, which is just one of the joints here, which is a little bit locked. So with the adjustment, what I'm going to look to do, just release right through the base of the foot. You just relax as much as you feel comfortable. I'm just going to grab hold of the foot and just a very light push. There we go. Did you feel that small release on that one?
Yeah, I did.
Now this one, no, I think it's already released actually. That's fine. How was that?
Yeah, I thought it was
just a little bit more of a pull on that point. I mean, you can really feel how the bone is much higher up on this foot than this foot. And you can really feel how this foot is generally a lot more stiff.
Yeah, that's
that
the one
one.
that's been hurting.
Yeah,
So.
would make sense. Just a little bit more of a stretch through this foot. I'm just going to try that just to make sure we got all of it, okay? One more time. Relax your foot for me again. Breathe in, breathe out. Relax the foot, Melissa. There it go. There we go. That's fine. Perfect. Now the next one, what I'd like you to do, just bend your knees for me. When I ask you to, I'm going to ask you to push your knees towards each other. Against my resistance, I'm going to stop you from doing it. What you might feel is a small release just in your pubis bone.
Okay.
Open the legs for me slightly. Just a little bit wider. There we go. Now, push in as much as you feel comfortable. A little bit more if you can. That's it, that's it. One more time, push in. That's fine, relax. Did you feel how there's a little bit of pressure just around the top of the pubis bone? There's a joint there, which just gets a bit locked with a lot of patients. And as a result, it can just cause sometimes tightness into that kind of groin area. So that joint just here, and that's what we were looking to release. Fine, muscles are a bit tight, not a big deal. We'll try and release that maybe another time. When you're ready, sit back up, please. The next thing we're going to show you is the stretch. Stand up, stand here, face the other way. So for the stretch, it's actually for the lower back, but indirectly I think it will also start benefiting more on the left shoulder. The version I showed you last time, we had this arm up and above, just on the top of the head, resting there, nice. Bring this hand up onto the opposite arm and elbow. Don't pull on your elbow. See how you want to keep your pelvis nice and strong? Good. Now the basic version involves you dropping your body weight to the left, keep going, sticking your hip out to the right. Can you feel a bit of a stretch when you get into here?
Yeah.
6 to 10 seconds, back into the middle, and then when you're ready, swap over to the other side for me. Good. Excellent. Good technique. Can you feel the stretch on the left?
Yeah.
It's not as much as on the right, is it?
No, not
So again, what I would want you to do is one more time, stretch the right side only. And then keep up with the stretches, do both sides, but focus a little bit more attention on the side that is a little bit tighter, which obviously for you is the right. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So we've gone through your stretches and the more advanced version of the stretches, but what I'm going to show you now are some simple posture strengthening exercises. It's trying to engage certain muscles that sometimes with patients become a bit inactive, a bit weak, and as a result it lets the other muscles dominate, and then that's what causes a lot of tightness. So these are some very simple exercises, one for your upper back and shoulder, one for your core pelvic floor to start adding in more stability, and then holding your better posture for longer periods.
Okay.
So the first exercise, when you're ready, can I get you to lay on your back so you're looking up to the ceiling? Now I'm going to trick you a little bit for this first one. Are you familiar with the exercise known as glute bridge or a pelvic thrust?
No.
There are loads of different names. So I'll show you what most people do with a glute bridge or a pelvic thrust. Bend your knees for me, both sides. Nice positioning, heel around this sort of angle here. And when most people get into this position, what they'll do, arms across the body or across the chest, wherever you feel comfortable, and they kind of lift their bum off the table. So do that for me now. Thrusting up. Good. Nothing wrong with this. It's a nice exercise, strengthens a few different muscles. Good. Relax. However, as good as that is, in most patients who generally have poor long jobs of sitting and generally do find a lot more pain in their lower back, the muscle group they're not engaging is more the pelvic floor muscle groups. And the way you switch those muscles on better when you do this exercise is like this. So before you thrust up, what I want you to do is roll your hips and pelvis so you're almost flattening your back into the table for me. That's it. Now lift up for me in that position. You probably won't get up as much, and as you can see, it's a lot more difficult, right? Yeah. So this is, again, showing how you're a little bit weaker in those pelvic floor muscles, and those are technically the ones you want to work better on strengthening and engaging to keep your back in a much stronger, balanced position. You'd think that small tweak would make it more difficult, but it does, right?
Yeah, it's so difficult.
Good, that'll do. And relax. So when you're doing these exercises, I don't want it to be a repetition exercise. I like more stability holds. So when you're in the good position, hold it 5-10 seconds if all that's what you can do, and then slowly build it up so maybe you can eventually hold it for 20 or 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yoga, Pilates coaches, they'll be again showing differences, and I'm not saying the other version was wrong. I'm just saying that for a lot of people that we see in clinic, that version is better for them and their lifestyle. But both versions are good. But for you, for example, as you saw, maybe adding that into your routine would be better for you.
Okay.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
There's always ways of making it more difficult and doing different muscle groups, but to begin with, a nice one. Just one little tip with you, not bad. Can you see your knees again just want to fall in a little bit?
Yeah.
So just always keep a little bit of a gap just in between the legs like this. You want to make sure the 3 balls of the feet are nicely positioned on the table, and you don't have that little tendency of letting those muscles roll in.
Okay.
Happy with that?
Thank
Excellent.
you, yeah.
Sit back up. So I'm going to say next exercise. This is focusing much more on the upper mid-back and the shoulder area as well. So what you want to do is you want to get a resistance band like this. They're not particularly expensive. You can find a pack of these on Amazon or other websites for usually about £5 to £10.
Okay.
You normally want a good quality pair though, to be honest with you. So yeah, different resistances. So we're actually going with quite a firm one today. So if you find this too much, let me know. I didn't have any softer ones, sorry.
Okay.
Find somewhere where you can hook it on. And there's loads of ways and variations of doing these exercises, I know. Now, I'm not going to call it a mistake, but in the gym, or with a lot of us, we get very tight through certain muscles, such as our traps and levator scap, which kind of runs through here. All that rounding on the desk, being on our phone. So where we actually are much more inactive in our muscle group are our rhomboids and our lats, which are a little bit more here and here. So those are the muscles you want to engage better with this exercise. So you want to be nice and perpendicular with the resistance band. Give it a nice hold grip. Be careful of your wrist, because sometimes people will grip it in bad ways. So you just want to keep a relatively neutral wrist. So even a lot of gym equipment, it's designed for you to pull towards the chest, which then over-engages these muscles, which have got tight through a lot of patients through the day. It's not a bad thing to engage those muscles if you're a bodybuilder or if you're actually a professional rower. Yeah, your technique would be rowing much more towards this area. However, for most people in desk posture and working on it, what you want to do is you want to pull much more towards your belly button or even a little bit lower into the hip. So elbows fairly close to the body, nice neutral grip, and just pull back. And you just want to feel that nice squeeze in between your shoulder blades, much more in the mid-back rather than the upper back. Again, once you're in that position, it's not a repetition exercise. You want to hold it as much as you feel comfortable, 10-15 seconds. If you can do more, and then relax. Then, slightly more difficult, the same thing, keeping the arms low, but with a bit of a wider grip, and then you're pulling back. Now this is engaging more your lats. A little bit more difficult, but fine. You can do it with a bent arm or a straight arm, that's up to you. It just depends on if you're trying to work maybe your tricep muscle a bit more or your shoulders. So if people have weaker shoulders, then they want to engage more of their tricep and vice versa. So just to recap, pulling much more down, but low, and then wide. Great, your turn.
Okay.
So have a seat here for me, and then hold on to the hands. Like I said, these are fairly heavy, so don't hold for too long. If it feels uncomfortable, let me know. You comfortable?
Yeah.
So,
do my feet go flat on the floor?
I mean, if you can do ideally in a good setup, yeah, but it's not essential. But again, even when you're doing this exercise, remember to keep that nice tuck in your pelvis. Now, as much like I said, nice and straight on, that's good. So what I want you to do first is technically the wrong thing. I want you to pull this band and pull it more towards your chest area. Good. Can you feel how these muscles are all tensing and kind of causing you to lift up? That'll do. Relax. Now, relax. Now pull much more lower into the hip, into the belly button. Good. Didn't raise through here, and can you feel that engagement much more through the middle back?
Yeah.
Fantastic. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. That was good. I know this is a pretty heavy band, so like I said, with a lighter one, you would be able to hold it more comfortably for longer. That was great. Next version is a bit more difficult, so keep the pull low, but go much wider. Good. Can you feel the engagement coming much more from your lats here now?
Yeah.
That's good. And relax for me. Challenging, right?
Yeah.
But strengthening exercises are meant to be, so that's great.
The first one felt really nice though. Actually, like
As
really,
the one pulling to the chest, you mean?
This one, yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
technically.
no, sorry, I mean, the first one is in, not the outwards one, this one here.
So those are more the muscles you want to work. And like I said, there's loads of variation of these kind of exercises. This is just the one I find easiest to show patients and kind of get them into a routine of doing. But even if you're someone that you shouldn't be, is quite lazy and can't even get up, there are other bands like this, even when you're at your desk. And you can just get like a very similar benefit where you're just trying to get that little bit more of a squeeze in between your shoulder blades, getting them to engage a little bit better, and then you haven't even left your desk, but really we want you to leave your desk. Try that one for me. So just a little bit.
In and out.
Yeah, and then elbows by your side and just push out. It's strong.
You made it look so easy.
That's good. Fair enough, that'll do. But you can see the point we're trying to make. You just want to, even if it's not a big movement, it's just getting those muscles to fire up and engage a little bit better.
Yeah.
But with all due respect, that's the point. You are weak in these muscles. That's why you want to start building more strength in them. They will help to keep you in better positions, and then as a result, you won't find yourself possibly needing to do your stretches as much because you're not going to be feeling as much pain and tension.
That'll be great.
Happy with that?
Yeah, thank
Excellent.
you.
Lisa, we're all done for today, and you can put your shoes back on for me.
Thank you so much.
No problem.